Hello, welcome to my channel, Lady D Psychic. This will be my video on what is coming up the week ahead. So I'll cover the full moon in Capricorn. We'll do a channel and I'll also do a card reading. And I'll let you know where I am and what I'm doing. So this is going to be about the full moon that is in Capricorn. So it's happening today, the 11th of July at 6:37 a.m. That's when it happened. So the energies will still feel it today and a little bit of tomorrow. So we've got the moon, which is going to be in tri with Mars. It's going to have a sextile to the node, and then we've also got a square to Chiron. So with this full moon, it is giving you that strength that you need to get things done. It is in Capricorn, so it is about logic, goals, public image, duty, long-term planning, endurance, also about stability, being organized, having a lot of structure, being prepared for things, and getting things done. It's not going to be an overly emotional full moon. It's going to be about more maybe detaching and to knowing the areas of your life where you need to get done and what needs to get done, and to start making plans to do it before the Mercury retrograde is happening next Friday. And then with the sextile to that node, north node, it's really helping you to look at your life purpose and again where you're heading. Could be looking at new business goals or business adventures because in Capricorn. We do have that square to Chiron happening as well. So that can be bringing up some like old wounds that you thought had been healed, maybe be coming up to the surface. But on a whole, I feel like this full moon is actually a pretty good full moon. We do have some positive aspects to Venus, which is helping you through relationships and also money. There is one square to Venus to Mars, but with that tri to Mars with the moon's making during this full moon, it is, I feel like it's getting more of that balance. And we still have that Jupiter squaring Saturn and Neptune as well, but we also got some positive aspects there to those planets too. There's not a lot happening with the planets. We are getting ready for that Mercury retrograde, which is happening next Friday. We do also have on the 13th, we've got the Saturn retrograde as well. So with my notes that I've made here, coming up about the full moon. So with the key energies that are coming up with this full moon, it is about emotional detachment versus emotional responsibility, because Capricorn's all about taking on responsibility as well. It's about getting things done. It's about wanting results, clarity, and stability. Deep inner push to elevate, mature, and evolve. And you may feel the pressure to prove your worth or fulfill the duty as well, maybe coming up. It's good for releasing workload tendencies or perfection, because we want to get things done, and as I said, about endurance and just getting it done as well the right way. Setting goals in alignment with your true purpose and not just status. That will be also coming in with that north node aspect. And decluttering toxic obligations or outgrowing commitments. So it could be that you're weaving things out, which I've also had in my notes in a minute too. So we've got that coming up with the Saturn retrograde that is happening in Aries. So it will start retrograde on the 13th, and then in September it will enter Pisces, and then it will stations direct on the 30th of November. That will be in Pisces. So while that Saturn is in retrograde in Aries, it could be about challenges coming up with like leadership, or I feel like also with ego, because about self-expressing yourself too, people not understanding you. Could be like some lessons and problems with impulsiveness or discipline might surface as well. Or people being also overbearing and could also come up with it. Might feel the pressure and independence of a self-identity, starting something new. So while it's back into Pisces, it is about spirituality. So it could be problems coming up around spirituality as well. It could be about looking at facing certain boundaries and trusting and having that problems of trusting divine timing and what's going to happen. Too, it may make feel like in a lot of internal things may come up too when we're looking at that Saturn retrograding when it goes back into Pisces. Could also be issues coming up with escapism, so like mental health may come up when it goes back into Pisces as well. It's still coming up in Aries, because as I say, it's like it's got a foot in Pisces, a foot in Aries, until it completely comes back into Aries next year. So I feel like the overall with this retrograde that is going to come up, it's going to be but what's going to set what's clear, unresolved emotional and spirituality when it goes back into Pisces. And there's being a big, you can see it now that things are going to change in the future with the comes to spirituality. And it's going to be bringing up, I feel like, some things of egos and leadership issues in the Aries too. What have we got? The main issues to watch out for with the Saturn in Aries: frustration, delays, and restrictions, or problems. I say problems. Authority issues or feeling limited in your self-expression. Repressed anger or old identity wounds may also resurface too with that. There also could be issues about how you approach leadership and independency, how you handle personal responsibility may come up, anger, impulsiveness or defensiveness may come up with this Saturn retrograde. Whether your current path is truly aligned with your purpose may come up. Lessons around courage, boundaries, and maturity may also come up with this Saturn retrograde as well. So that is coming up with the planets. I said next week we'll have that retrograde happening at Mercury retrograde. I've also got here, this week will be about being still, or this full moon, about being still, not listening to. I heard stupid people. So I said I'm going to say silly people, but I actually heard stupid people. Being organized and prepared, getting things in order, setting boundaries, turning off people who no longer need to be in your life, knowing, creating a balance, inner knowings that everything is going to be okay, having that inner knowledge too, I feel like it's going to come up with this full moon. So let's look at the cards, and then we will do the channel. I must say I did get, with my podcast I did on spiritual and psychic envy. So if you haven't listened to my podcast yet for last week, I recommend to do so. I have gotten some, it's a little bit controversial, and I did get there was some backlash that I got off it, but mostly I got people that knew where I was coming from. I got a lot of positive stuff, so I do recommend you to go and see that podcast that I did. Let's look. I'm going to look at the fairy cards for the cards for this week too. And then we've also launched another podcast with the 4 pillars as well. That's on Spotify. And 2, I am going to link it to my YouTube channel as well. Okay, let's have a look here. Let's have a look for this week. Oh, there could be an aspect here, I feel like, so people could be a little bit bossy coming up. Or with this full moon, I feel like there's going to be undisclosed anger come up, but I do feel like about writing things down this week, and especially over the weekend. There's a sense of not making a fuss with things either, and I do feel like there's a sense of what's burning brightly within you, there's something eager that's burning bright within you that you want to achieve or want to get done, or have this motivation. It's going to come up. I feel like it's about us taking some time out with people that you love, and there's that togetherness too that's coming about this. And I also want to go non-spirited. There even could be some good news that's coming up you're expecting, that's coming up, or have you being at peace with things around you too. I've also feel like there could be a sense of another portal opening up, so you might feel like the world is changing, or your personal world is changing, you're having to readjust to that. But I also feel like there's a sense of people working together, and people are looking at getting things done together too. And it's all about time. It's when will things happen? I feel like a lot of questions about divine timing coming up this weekend with this full moon energy too. It's also coming up. Yes, here. I also feel like there could be some setbacks and delays that also come up this week, that you're really trying to bring things to the front, but you can't make it happen. So I really feel like it is about just trusting the process, because I feel like if you're going to push something, it may not be the right time for things to happen, and they may come up and make you a little bit more frustrated. I do feel like, but it's about helping hand, like everyone's pitching in, helping each other. I do feel like that is also a thing that's going to happen for this week, that people are wanting to be more of service and more of help. It's coming in. Too. We do have some other aspects coming up this week, but the aspects that we've got, when I go to the 17th for that retrograde, yeah, we've got the square. So we've got the square to Venus and to Mars. So there's a couple of squares, but it's positive. There's not a lot going on. We've still got the Gemini. That's Uranus moving to Gemini as well. But I just feel like this is like kind of a week to help each other and pull each other through, but also get organized, showing a lot of courage, having a lot of stability around us, but also spending time with loved ones, and also just being quite humble. I feel like this week is about being humble too. That's also going to come up with this full moon energies as well. So with that, so let me do anything else I can see coming up with this one. It will be a busy week. I do feel like there is a sense of busyness going to come in, and a sense of people, I'd say it could be a sense of people maybe a little bit overreacting a little bit, and people not taking the time out that they need. So I do feel like there is a sense here of wanting to take some time out. You might feel a little bit drained, a little bit like energy, or someone sort of draining you, and I feel like it's about cutting those people off, because I do feel like also with this full moon energy, it is about creating boundaries and keeping boundaries in place as well, and also being prepared and having, like plan Bs as well. But trying to get things done before that retrograde starts next Friday. So if you're starting anything new, you've got till next Friday to start it, to get it done as well. I think that's it with that. You might find someone's trying to peek through, or trying to see what you're doing, and might be a little bit of manipulation at play as well, but just see. Let's do a channel on this full moon that is happening in Capricorn. So let's see. This full moon is going to be very bright and spectacular, for you'll still feel the energy of this full moon even over the weekend. It is time for you all to look at what you have done and what you have achieved, and get yourself a pat on the back. For the challenges that you have faced have not come within, it has come from other people, but you have faced them and you have dealt with them responsibility, and you're going to get more challenges coming up. But for the moment, for this time, for this full moon, it's about noticing what you have done and celebrating your wins, and also noticing what you have learned from the falls. It is time to reconsider other options in your life that you have forgotten about. It is time to think of new things that you can do. It's time to have lessons on preparing things in order to get what needs to be done. For when we get to December, the world that you know it will be definitely had changed. It will seem like this year was a whirlwind year, where it was just crazy times ahead, and more will be coming of this. Okay, there we go. Okay, so as I said in my podcast, yeah, I recommend you going to see my last podcast. As I said, I've had a lot of people giving me their feedback on it. Most of it's been very positive. I mean, that's just my experience that I have had in the industry. I'll be recording my next episode tonight and putting it up tomorrow, and it will be on Saturn retrograde. I'll talk about that, I feel. Then what else? So I am back from Queensland, so I'm back in New South Wales, and I'm trying to think. Next weekend I am at Central Coast. That may be the last time I'm at Central Coast for that fair, so Mingara. So if you are someone that goes to Mingara and you want to catch me for a reading, next week may be the last week that I'll be at that fair for a while. And then I've got Port Macquarie at the end of August, and I've got some really exciting things happening in October as well. So And we have launched our cruises, so we do have still got the November cruise this year. So if you are interested in joining us for the Psychics at Sea maiden voyage, which is at South Pacific, they've got 2 cabins left. So I recommend you to get onto that if you and just message us, and then we can tell you more information about that one. We do have a 4-night Queensland cruise leaving Brisbane next year in November, and then the January 24th, I think it is, we have a 8-night cruise from Sydney to Queensland as well. And then me and Everlady's been looking at other retreats on land. So we're looking at doing O'Reilly's in Queensland and also around Kingscliff area too, doing a weekend retreat away. So we've got some things in the works, some very exciting things coming up, which I'll tell you more information once I know and I get more information as well. So thank you for your likes, your shares, and your comments, and I will see you for my next video. So bye for now.